Today, we are going to talk about one of the most significant and speculative questions in modern finance. Will Bitcoin ever replace the US dollar? The dollar has reigned supreme as the world's global reserve currency for decades, but the rise of Bitcoin, a decentralized, stateless money, has introduced a powerful new contender. This isn't just an economic question, it's a political one, a debate between two fundamentally different visions of money and power. To understand the future, we need to analyze the strengths and weaknesses of both the dollar and Bitcoin, and consider the scenarios that could play out. First, let's understand why the dollar is so dominant. Its status as the global reserve currency is not an accident. It was cemented by a combination of historical events and powerful network effects. First, there's the historical legacy. The dollar's supremacy was established after World War II with the Bretton Woods Agreement of 1944. As Europe lay in ruins, the US emerged as the world's leading economic and military power. The agreement pegged major currencies to the dollar, which was in turn pegged to gold. Even after the gold standard was abandoned in 1971, the dollar's role as the primary medium for international trade and finance was already deeply entrenched. The dollar's dominance is built on several pillars: scale and stability. The US has the world's largest economy and a mature, stable legal system. This makes the dollar a trusted store of value for governments and corporations worldwide. Another thing is liquidity. The dollar is used in the vast majority of international trade and debt markets. This creates unparalleled liquidity, making it easy to buy or sell. And another thing is financial infrastructure. The US controls a global financial infrastructure, including payment systems like SWIFT and the CHIPS. This gives it immense power, including the ability to impose sanctions and freeze assets. For now, no other national currency, not the euro, not the yen, and not the yuan, has the economic scale, stability, and institutional infrastructure to truly challenge the dollar on a global level. Now, let's look at Bitcoin's argument for displacing the dollar. It doesn't compete on the dollar's terms, it offers a completely different paradigm. Bitcoin is a decentralized, peer-to-peer network. No government or central bank can inflate its supply, seize your funds, or shut down the network. This makes it an attractive alternative for individuals and nations looking to escape the control of a single superpower. The US dollar, like all fiat currencies, is susceptible to inflation. Central banks can create new money, eroding the purchasing power of the currency over time. This is a deliberate policy used to stimulate economic growth, but it comes at a cost. Bitcoin, with its fixed supply of 21 million coins, is fundamentally deflationary. For many, it represents a form of hard money that cannot be debased. Bitcoin is borderless and permissionless. Anyone with a smartphone and an internet connection can access the network, regardless of their location, social status, or whether they have a bank account. This makes it a powerful tool for the unbanked and for cross-border payments, especially in countries with unstable currencies. In essence, the argument for Bitcoin is that it offers a more honest, transparent, and resilient form of money that isn't affected by the political and economic whims of any single nation. But despite Bitcoin's revolutionary promise, there are significant hurdles that make a full replacement of the dollar unlikely in the near or even medium term. Bitcoin is notoriously volatile. Its price swings make it a poor medium of exchange for everyday transactions. Who wants to buy a coffee with a currency that might be worth 10% less tomorrow? While volatility may decrease as its market capitalization grows, it remains a major obstacle for mass adoption. The Bitcoin network, in its current state, is not designed for the volume of transactions required to power the global economy. It can only process a handful of transactions per second, compared to the thousands processed by networks like Visa. While scaling solutions like the Lightning Network exist, they are not yet mature enough for widespread global adoption. A currency's value is in part derived from the power of the government that backs it. Governments require taxes to be paid in international currency and mandate its use as a legal tender. Global shift to Bitcoin would require a monumental, coordinated effort from the world's governments, a scenario that is highly improbable. In fact, most governments are focused on creating their own digital currencies to maintain control. A full-blown transition to Bitcoin would undermine the very power structures of a nation-state. From monetary policy to tax collection, governments will not cede this control willingly. They will likely continue to regulate, and in some cases, restrict the use of Bitcoin to protect their own currencies. So what is the most probable future? Not a total replacement, but a period of coexistence and specialization. The dollar will likely remain the dominant global reserve currency for the foreseeable future, especially for large-scale international trade and debt. Its stability, liquidity, and backing by the world's largest economy are simply too powerful to be undone quickly. However, Bitcoin will continue to grow in its role as digital gold, a decentralized long-term store of value. It will be a hedge against inflation and a non-sovereign reserve asset for both individuals and eventually a select few nations. Its use will likely expand in specific areas. Bitcoin offers a cheaper and faster way to send money across borders, especially to developing nations. For people living in countries with high inflation or capital controls, Bitcoin will continue to serve as a vital tool for protecting their wealth. Institutional investors will likely continue to add Bitcoin to their portfolios as a new, uncorrelated asset class. In this future, Bitcoin doesn't have to kill the dollar to be successful. It can thrive as a separate, complementary financial system that exists in parallel with the traditional one, offering a unique set of properties and benefits that fiat currencies simply cannot match. Of course, none of what I'm saying in this video is financial advice, and make sure to always do your own research. If you enjoyed this video and you want more no BS videos about Bitcoin, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.